Hello, my name is Tomy Shaw, and here today I'll be talking about how I got to making $10,000 of passive income in real estate in just under 10 years. So it all begins in 2010, okay? It all begins in 2010 when we first bought our home, and our first home was worth about $150,000. We had a down payment for it. We had about $15,000, okay, to put down payment. And what happened is that we bought the house and we were wondering how we gonna go into real estate. Like, we had a hard time already just to pay the bill. So we decided, okay, might as well rent out some rooms. So if we rent out some rooms and we rent out 4 rooms, we would be able to pay off our home faster or build up equity even faster so that we can invest in real estate. So at the same time, it would give us experience, because if we're having tenants in our home and we're managing them, so essentially it would be the same thing in a fourplex, a triplex, or anything else we wanted to invest in. Then we decided to rent out 4 rooms. We were renting out those 4 rooms, and it was giving us $1,100 a month. So not only did we have enough to cover the rent, the mortgage, and everything that we had to pay, the cost of living in the house, we also had enough to save an extra $100. It might not seem like a lot, but at the time it was a lot of money. And we were searching. When it comes to real estate, we were searching, we were reading books, we were doing everything that was recommended by investment people. Anybody that was in real estate, they told us what to do, and we were doing it. So we were looking at duplexes, we were looking at triplexes, fourplex, and we couldn't decide what we wanted to invest in. But one thing we knew, it was that a duplex and a triplex, they weren't cash flowing. Like, the money that was left after the month, there was no money left. So we knew if there was no money left and the one tenant was not paying, it would have been a negative cash flow. So we were looking at properties. We looked at maybe 100 properties. Some had a broken down roof. Some had they were mostly all broken down real estate, and we were like, okay, we can't go in this domain. So what I noticed is that when I went to look for fourplexes, it was about the same price, but in a lot better condition, and also the fourth rent was 100% cash flow. So I knew this was the avenue that we needed to go in. And we went to see some properties. We've seen a lot of them. None of them fit our criteria, and it was very hard to get a property that could cash flow. But one day this property pops up on the market. 2011 pops up on the market, a perfect fourplex. Like, we go see it, 4 excellent tenants in a great neighborhood, and we're like, this is impossible. Something's wrong with this property. And we're looking at it, and we decide to put an offer. We're like, this is the best property we've seen on the market. We need to put an offer. And the problem was, we didn't have the down payment for the property. We didn't even have the money to buy the property. So how are we going to buy this property when we don't have the money? So we put in an offer anyways, and this is where we start being creative. Like, we decided to go see our parents, or my mom, my dad, everybody that I could try to get some money to put down on this property. And then my stepdad, my father's wife, my wife's father, decided, okay, yeah, he made a couple phone calls, and everything he said that we need to do, we did in the property. It was a perfect deal. So he said, okay, we'll put up the money for you guys so you can buy the property. And we're like, oh my God, this is perfect. So everything works out perfect. The bank gives us an excellent interest rate. We had the money, and we're like, okay, now that we have the property, we need to repay the loan that my father's wife gave us. So that's the first deal. And now the second deal that we found was in 2014. Okay, it's a deal, but at the same time, it wasn't a deal because there was so much work that needed to be done in that property that, like, we call it a divorce property. We said to ourselves, if we get this property, we're gonna get divorced. Like, there was so much work that needed to be done that we didn't even take into consideration all the work that needed to be done. And plus, there was bad tenants in like, there was a woman that was stripping, there was a pusher, there was this tenant that we didn't even know where she was, and her stuff was still inside. The guy that was pushing, he had a whole bunch of holes in the walls. He had punched down the walls. Like, it was a lot of work, this property. So 2 months later, we put in this property, we put it back up, and we find another deal, a sixplex, a big sixplex. It was six units of 4.5. Like, there was 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and 1 living room. So we put in an offer again. We were saying, okay, we might as well put in an offer. We put in an offer, it gets accepted, and we get another property. Okay, this property, and now we're up to 14 units. Okay, and it's starting to be a lot of work. So this is where we come up. We're like, we need a manager. We need somebody to manage this property because it's starting to be a lot. We didn't even have time to make visits inside of the property to rent out some rooms to tenants and stuff like that. We didn't have time anymore. So we knew we had to give it away to a manager. Okay, now it's in management, and what we didn't take into consideration when taking a manager is that the manager does most of the paperwork. Okay, when he sends you a receipt, it's a complete receipt everything is in the receipt he sends you. None of these little bits of pieces of receipts that you accumulate and that you have to put in your accounting system. Everything is done for you. So this had a lot of value. This gave us a lot of free time to look for more opportunities and to keep investing, because if we wouldn't have had a manager, we would not have been able to keep on investing in real estate. Like, every time we were looking for another property, we were like, no, we're too tired to keep going. Okay, so now a couple of years go by because we had my daughter and we had my son. So, like, we were focusing on them more than on real estate. Now 2018, we see another property. This one's a little bit higher than all of them, but we're like, we really love the sector, and there was like garages, there was like lockers attached to the same property. So we're like, okay, we're gonna try this sector and we're gonna see how it works out. And so we bought it. So this brings us to how I'm making $10,000 a month passive income. Well, I got a manager, I got properties, and when you're looking at 18 tenants, they're depositing about $18,000 a month. So if you like this information, you think it's useful, don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe. Thank you.